That was extremely too much noise. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah is coming this evening with an awesome message. And the message is going to be, it is titled, Just Let Us Talk. Just Let Us Talk. This is going to be a wonderful message because I'm going to say some things and I'm going to hope that someone else can respond. And if not, it's okay. It is so okay because the answer is within me. So this title is Just Let Us Talk. Just let us talk. And we're going to talk about several verses in chapters. And I'm going to pretty much kind of bring individuals into it was like for me to be a student of the Ruach all these years, not being able to open up a book without understanding in front of that book and behind that book. So, and what I mean by that is I just can't see what you might see. I see beyond what is just there, just right there. When with me, I see beyond that. And it's not that I see it so much in the natural. I see it first and foremost in the spirit. And in the spirit, it allowed me to open up the understanding that I'm seeing in the natural. So it's a very powerful gift from the Most High Yah. So I am excited to kind of dig into this message, and I'm gonna give it a moment and wait to, if even one, that one, or even that one as a number, we can say, I'm speaking of a number, anyone to come in, I'm going to start chiming on in. And like I said, I myself will and shall be able to answer the questions in which I put forth, because it's not going to be so much as questions. I'm going to give you pretty much a little something in how, when I again went into reading, say for instance, I had a King James Bible or a King James 16, and I were to get in it, and when I read it, I can understand something else behind what I'm reading. Same thing with a book. It's almost like I can understand the individual who wrote the book, what was in their thought pattern, and it's a gift. I know it's a gift, and it's one that causes you to have to be able to know, based on the spirit that's in you, how to put it in the right perspective. Okay, because sometimes it's very powerful. The power of it is so strong that you really can't take heed to it like you would want to, because the power that rests in that gift allows you to see more than you yourself in the flesh is willing to see. And in seeing, you understanding what you're seeing on the natural, you're fully understand it in the spirit. So that's what I'm gonna do this evening, and I'm excited. And let me see how many more minutes I got to put my charger. Oh no, wait a minute. Again, something I wasn't prepared for, and I had no idea that my laptop here has died out. I mean, it's dying out. I mean, it's there. Okay. All right. I'm excited about this message. I don't know where individuals are today, but you know what? Where I'm at in my body, whatever. All I know is I'm going to pull this off tonight. I'm going to go into chapters and verses, and I'm going to teach it as if there's such a powerful mystery that rests right there in each chapter that has a verse. And I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to keep it going. Okay. So I want to start off first and foremost in Matthew's chapter 7. Matthew's chapter 7 and verse 22. In Matthew's chapter 7 and verse 22, it says, many will say to me in that day, Yah, Yah, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils. And in thy name done many wonders, wonderful works. I want to go back into that. And this is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. Again, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, I say Yah, Yah, but I'm going to say Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils. And in thy name done many wonderful works. I look at that and I think of that. Just look at that. Just think of that. Yeshua is actually allowing us to see something that we cannot see. You cannot see what I'm about to tell you. Look at it. Take a minute. Look at it. You would never grip what I'm about to say. And the reason why, going back to what I told y'all, he has worked in me since I was a little girl. So when I go into things, one of the main reasons why I know that these are words and not the word, because the word comes to teach you all things, even the words. You see, he the one give you the insight. So it's not even me having the ability to be able to really dig into the verses in the chapter and speak what I'm about to speak. It is he that's greater in me that gives me the ability to see inside of seeing. What am I looking for? What are you looking for? What are we looking for when people pick up a Bible or a King James Bible or 1611 or whatever book they think that they got? You're reading out what you see in the natural, knowing that this book really is trying to identify he that's in the spirit. And right then, the power of understanding that, okay, if he is in the spirit, I'm reading it to you from the standpoint of the natural, even to the point out of the language in which it was written at one time somewhere, but not in these books. So what did that lead you to understand? When you're reading these words, you're reading them out of the natural. But only one can teach you all things is he that's in the spirit that comes to live in you, that gives you the ability to go beyond just the natural. That's what I mean when I say seeing behind seeing. 99 trillion that have lived and those that are living on this earth have no idea, none whatsoever, of what I am saying. Okay? Is that okay? Yes. They can't know what the Creator himself has not embedded in them to know. They can't be able to see behind sin if Yah hasn't given them the ability to see behind sin. You see? So my first chapter is Matthew's chapter 7, verse 22. Here we go. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name has cast out devils. And in thy name done many wonderful works. These individuals are not going to be able to stand before the Creator and really speak like this. But what Yeshua is saying, that's what's going to be on a spiritual wicked heart. It's going to already be on their spiritual wicked heart that I'm going to come up here and I'm going to stand here and justify. I did it, I did it, I did it. It's not so much they're going to be able to speak it. It's just what he already know their thoughts. You see, a lot of people think wicked, iniquity, and sin, as we know it on the earth, that's what it's called. We don't know what the Father called it in the heavens, but it wasn't something that he would tolerate because he took it out. Okay? So therefore, that's why you see the chaos on the earth, because he wasn't letting them rule that mess in the kingdom. So he said, I built the earth, put you on it, and I'm going to put 2 trees. Go. It's already in you. Your eternal destiny. Go. 2 trees is waiting for you. Go to whichever one that's already in you from the kingdom. Okay? So when I go into Matthew's and I hear them, it says we. In this verse, it says, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out demons? And in thy name done many wonderful works. Now, what I'm about to break down, not one of you, not one, have the idea of what I'm about to speak about. Not one. Let me break it down now. Now, this is what I mean when I say to y'all, I can't go into a book like you all can and just get what I see. When I get the power that rests behind what is being said. Okay? That which one cannot see. That's what I understand. So in Matthew chapter 7 and verse 22, it is actually telling you we. Right then, I'm in my mind. I'm like, who is this we? What's going on with this we? What does this mean? Then I see where they said prophesied. Instant. I know what it takes to be able to prophesy. You cannot and shall not and will not be able to prophesy without power. So what prophecy are they speaking of? And this is what is actually going on the earth. People are prophesying without the power. How do you know, Deborah? That's how they're going to return. And in their spiritual heart, going to have that same spiritual heart and that same spiritual mindset. But it's their spirit going to be thinking and their spiritual heart going to be feeling that they can justify that which they had not. And that was the power. So when he said, or she said, or whatever it was, that we not prophesied? Baby, how could you prophesy without the power? And then they say, in thy name. They said, cast out demons, devils, in thy name. And in the name, done many a wonderful works. The reason why the temple, the pastors, the priests, the apostles, the evangelists, the Moorings, the seers, the watchmen, the prophet, the prophetess, they cannot, the seers, they cannot and will not get this, is because according to get even what I'm about to break down, you're still going to have the same thing this individual portraying they had. And they had not. But see, they did not know that you cannot prophesy without the power. Okay? You cannot cast out demons without the power. You can't do many wonderful works without the power. Did they think they had the power? No. They thought because they used the name, that the name in itself would cause them to be able to prophesy, to do what else? To cast out devils, and what else? Wonderful works. No, it wasn't the name that you did it in. It was the power. That's what they didn't know. They thought, like many today think, oh, Deborah, I'm in there. I got my keys. I got my keys to the kingdom. I got my ticket right here. I know I'm saved. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. Without even thinking, not one moment, do you have the power? This is how they came on this earth and they said, in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of Yahweh, in the name of this, in the name. And they failed to realize the name cannot be used if the power ain't in front of it nor in the back of it. So when they come to glory, thinking that they can say they did all of this, they have no idea that they speaking to the one whose name is the power. So it's impossible for you to prophesy in a name. It's impossible for you to cast out demons in a name. It's impossible for you to do wonderful works in a name, because to prophesy, to cast out devils, and to do many of wonderful works, you had to have the power. That's what they didn't have. People today have no idea what the power is. And if you don't know what the power is, you don't know what the name is. If you don't know the name connected to the power, then you don't know neither nor. It's hand in hand. So you can't just pull up and say the name and figure I knew the name and I portrayed the name down on the earth and they got it. People listened to me. People heard me preach and teach. But here it is. I'm in the kingdom and I want to justify, clarify, and identify. I prophesy. That means you prophesied. Okay, how did you do it? Did you have the power to do that? No, I did it by the name. But how can you have the power, the name, if you ain't got the power? So you have to have the power. And the power lets you know the name. And the name lets you know you got the power. So and it says, and name and has cast out demons and many wonderful works. All of those done by the power, not by the name. And just imagine the name that they were using. Like a lot of people today, right here today. This is why it says we, because many people are going to be speaking in their spirit to he that's on the throne for judgment. And he's going to automatically, no, depart from me. Because you're standing before the one who has all power. And my power has not been given unto thee. So I don't know what power what name you was using for prophesying, what name you was using to cast out demons, what name you was using for wonderful works, but it wasn't in my power. And now one of you can look at that one verse, Matthew 7 and verse 22. One verse. Take the name away. Take the name away out. Just take the name out. To prophesy, you need the power. To cast out demons, you need the power. To many wonderful works, you need the power. Is that not what Yeshua had? Is that not what Yeshua had? He said, these works that I've done is of my Father. This is what he does. This is him. It's his power, y'all. So a lot of people thinking, even they teaching, they're preaching, they're laying hands on people, they're singing, they're ministering. I mean, they really out here teaching and preaching, but guess what? They don't have the power to go along with what they say they have. So those things that they thought that they had with the name, because they thought they was going to be able to justify it by the name. See, y'all ain't going for you knowing things by the name, because all these names that's on this earth is not the name. What do you mean, Deborah? You can't have the name of Yah and without the power. The power and the name come hand in hand. That's what a lot of people run around here talking about the name. Baby, if you don't have the power that's in front of that name, in back of that name, on every side of that name, you ain't got the name. That's why he said, I come to abide in thee. And now I'm greater than anything in thee and everything on the outside of you. Now you got power. People in this earth today believe what they have is the authority to prophesy, lay hands on people, go in a hospital and put hands on people and cast out demons, and don't have no idea. These things that these people are going out here to do, that's why none of them are doing any miracle signs and wonders, because they don't have the power that backs up the name, and they don't have the name that backs up the power. So that's why I say a lot of these people run around here in the name. You got to know the name. No. Didn't they say, what did they say? In thy name did I prophesy, cast out demons in thy name. I did wonderful works with the S on it. But wait a minute. All that you did, you wanted heavens to know it was the name that gave you this mindset that what you were doing was done in the name. But as I try to teach people today, without the power that backed the name up and landed down, you're lost with the cause and without. Okay? If you ever look at Matthew chapter 7 and verse 22, notice they said the name. The name. Because they thought they can use a name without the power. And that's what made them feel they prophesied. Because they what? I did it in your name. I cast out devils. I did it in your name. I did many wonderful works. I did it in your name. 1 minute, you guys. What is it? No. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? So this is showing you how they clowning down here on the earth. It's because they're trying to deceive many by saying, oh, you have to know the name. The name is this, the name is that, the name is this, and the name is that, the name is this, and the name is that. You better know the name. That ain't the name. This is the name. This is the name. This. And when you finish, baby, no matter what name you think you have, if that name ain't bagged up with power and laying down with power, you need to sit down. Okay? You can't do nothing without the power that drives that name. You see? And this is the same thing. It's in the earth today. They're in another example of how they're going to be doing, saying they did that in their name. But it's not what they're going to be saying. It's not so much as what they're going to, many going to say, because it's not going to be a time where you're going to justify, clarify, and identify. It's just what their thought pattern is going to be thinking. And that means the thought pattern, not of their flesh, because they're not in the kingdom of the flesh, in the spirit of their minds and in the spirit of their hearts, they thinking they're going to be able to stand by the one who is all power. And said, I use your power just by using your name. Yeshua couldn't even do it. What do you mean, Deborah? Yeshua had to come with the threes, y'all, which all three identified Christ. He had to come with the spirit, the word, and the power. Sit down. Sit down. Okay, so we got that one. But anytime you all use that verse to minister to someone, make sure you stress the idea that they standing here telling all power, I use power to do this, did. How did you use power that I am? I am that I am all power. So how did you use power when you thought you was using a name? When Yeshua came down, he came down with Christ, which is the Son of Yah. He came down as the Son of Man, and Christ came down in him as the Son of Yah, Emmanuel, Yah with us. And what was the Son of Man, the Son of Yah carrying? The Son of Yah was carrying something. He was carrying the word, the spirit, and by Yah, the power. But what was all detached to it? None of those things can be used. The word, the spirit, nor the power could ever be used if you don't know who the name is that holds those three characteristics. So what name that you did all this in? Because they don't have it, y'all. Even to today. The Hebrew Israelite chasing this name. Oh, his name is this and his name is that. What happened at that same King James Bible, 1611, you don't hear not one word just simply saying the name. If that name that's in this Bible has that much power, you should see it spoken in that order to where you think you know the name. And it is. But it's only to those who have received that name in them. Okay. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 25. Let me go there. In Matthew chapter 6 and verse 25, it says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and the body than raiment. No, raiment. Let me get this here off here. Okay. He's letting us know something in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. Can you see? Can you see it? Let's read it again. Matthew's chapter 6, verse 25. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on your body. Is not life more than meat, and the body is than raiment? Guess what he's talking about? And I'm going to show you how I see it behind seeing it, okay? Right here, he's breaking down something first and foremost, okay? He don't want you to take no thoughts for yourself in life. Don't be caught up with life. L-I-F-E. Don't take no thought for your life. So don't be caught up in the word life. What ye in the process of it is saying, what ye shall eat while you have life, or what ye shall drink while you have life, nor yet for your body while you have life. What ye shall put on is not life more. See? So don't fool around with life thinking you rule it. Oh, I got to worry about how I'm dressing or what I need to put on or what I need to eat, what I need for my body and what else to do, what I need to drink. Baby, that's not life. That's what he's trying to get you to understand. He's telling around here, telling you, therefore I say unto you, take no thought. Take no thought for your life. We as human beings have been in church after church after church, skipping all over YouTube, resting our little sick mind in all these videos without understanding you are not getting anything but trash. Okay. Here he's saying life. I want y'all to recognize in Matthew 6:25, I'm trying to show you the difference in the twos. And I'm pulling it up to let you know that life and flesh is two different things. And don't let your flesh be caught up in life, in the things of how your body needs what it needs. Because he says, is not life more than meat and raiment? Letting you, and the body more than raiment? Letting you know that life is not about your body. That's all he's trying to tell you. So don't take life and make it about what you eat, what you drink, oh, my body, clothing, what I put on it. Don't. Because life that's in your body is greater than your body needing water, what you should eat, and what you shall wear. You know what he's doing here? He's actually allowing us to understand that we keep bypassing life And as Sister Deborah have been on this devil platform, I have realized that people still gives a rat's behind. They don't give a rat's behind about life. Life is the spirit that was blown in you that holds the breath that belongs to Yah. And this is what he's saying. It's more than what he say. It's more than meat. And it's more than the body, than what you can raiment, meaning put on your body. Check is what he's saying. Why? We're in that day. We should know this already. But do you think 99.15 trillion have no idea? Do you know if there was an opportunity and I had to speak at a convention, and if I had to teach this to 1 million of people, it would blow their mind. It would blow their mind, because people have made life living instead of living with the respect of having life. They take life and make it about living instead of making living about life. Because without life, you can't live. You see? And that's all he's saying. Life is not something you worry about, because you can't do nothing with it. It's given to you and it's going to be taken from you. Ain't nothing you can do with it. So don't take no thoughts of it. But let me check you. What ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body. Don't take the thoughts of everything on the outside is more important than the one that's on the inside. Because it's what? It's more than meat and the body than remnant. Life give living to the body. People today have no idea he's actually stepping all up in you, because we worry about everything on the outer of who we are. And we forsake to seek after what we actually have that's greater about ourselves. And that is the breath of life that was given to us. And when it breathed in us, it breathed us in a spirit. That's more than your outer man. And he's telling you that. You don't have to worry about and be troubled by life, because there's nothing you worried about and troubled about that can defeat life, can do anything with life. But it's more, life is more than your outer man, your shell that you in, this flesh. And all he's doing is check those that are in the light. Always remember that. That's why he tell us, don't worry about what they can do to your body. It's what your life holds, not what your body holds. But do they get it? No, they do not. Okay, so now I wanted to bring that because I feel that was something that everybody who have the Ruach should be able to speak that to people. The difference in the twos, the body and life, or living in life, and how you can't focus on your life, nor can you focus and put so much emphasis on your living. Because if the life is more than your living. And I sit back today and I was just thinking about how people have no idea what's actually taking place. Even their state of mind and how they're doing things and how they're orchestrating things and how they're planning things. It's going back to what he said. You prepare for everything for your flesh. And that's not it. Life is more than your body, your clothes, what you drink. Do they get it? No, they're not going to get it. We in the midnight hour. It's time to get up and get out. That means bring that light out of darkness and keep it going. You see? So I thank the Father for that, because when I read that, I said, I'm going to pull that one out too, because I understand it to the fullness. Father, you taught my life. These people don't get that. You would never get it out of this verse. That he's trying to let you focus and trying to inform you that life, it don't use it as something. The old life is so put too much thought in it. No, you can't do nothing with life. But with living, he said that life is way beyond living. People ain't worried about living or life being beyond living. They love the flesh, having what it wants, getting what it wants, doing what it wants, saying what it wants, hearing what it wants, and thinking what it wants. That's it. And he's like, just letting you know, you got it bent. Life is greater than. Life is more than meat that you're worried about to put in your body. Life is more than what you can drink that you're worried about putting into your body. Life is more than what you worried about eating. They would never get that out that verse. All he was trying to show you is the twos. The reason why I say it's too late is because if in Genesis he was showing us the twos of what he put in us to even start humans out, he showed you a spirit and he showed you a flesh. This is the reason why people don't understand life. Same reason. Because they think life is living. They think living is life. Because they have not been taught or spoken to break the two up so you can really get what's what. They haven't. So they have no idea. You get what I'm saying? Even to this midnight hour where it's over, they still don't get it. So when you get into Psalms 55 and 22, when you get into Psalms 55 and 22, it says, cast thy burdens upon Yah. Cast them. Put them on Yah. And he shall sustain thee. He'll help you hold on. Let me give you an example. For the last 2 days, I believe my shingles are flaring up because my body is, like itchy. And I'm trying to catch it before it get blown out. And I'm going to contact my doctor and make sure they give me what I need so I can freeze it before it get blown out. Okay. Now, I thank the Most High for allowing me the first time the chance to understand what it is, first and foremost, and how I can catch it before it catch me. I give Yah all glory and all praise. What do you mean? Like now, my back is burning. Okay. So I thank him for showing me, because I know now. I know the itch is a sign. Okay. So it's been 2 days. It wasn't a rash. It wasn't a rash at all. But it's now, tonight, it's burning. So when I realized that, hey, now, and after the 2 days, I think this is the warning that it's flaring up. I give Yah all glory and praise. So now all I had to do is call the order in and go pick it up tomorrow. What it does, it blows it out so it won't flare up and be painful and itchy. You see, it took Yah to tell me to observe, Deborah. Observe it. Pay attention to it. And like I said, I thank him for that, because what it does is it allowed me to know that I don't have to suffer through it anymore. All I have to do is know the itchy of the itchy of the back. Hey, boom, that's that. They want you to get the vaccine. I'm not getting no vaccine. Okay. If I can take 2 or 3 pills for a week to just blow it out, yes. Okay. So this is what I've how many times? I think I've had it done 3 times, and they want me to get the vaccine. No vaccine toward this. Now, if y'all don't deliver me from it, then that's what it is. But I give him all glory and honor, because it also teaches me about how you can tag into your own body by knowing already when something comes up on you, because it's coming to kind of bring you down, not trying to destroy you, but it's coming to bring you down. You can get ahead of it. Okay. So I give that glory and honor to the Most High Yah. So here in Psalms 55 and 22, it says, cast thy burdens upon Yah. And that's what I was thanking him for today, is allowing me the ability to learn how to catch it and to learn what it is before it takes me down. So I look at that as a blessing to me. You see, I'm going to tell y'all something. You remember Paul, he was talking about, he had a thorn in his side. A lot of people think that because you are a servant of Yah, and you are a anointed one, and you are the holy one, and you are this and you are that, baby, if David can come and tell you the story, he'll tell you how many times he was bedridden, how many times things happened to him. And you know who else? Abraham would tell you, Isaac would tell you, Jacob would tell you. Don't think because he didn't tell you the things that had come upon their bodies that they was just exempt from it. No, baby. Your greatest enemy is your own body. Your own body. It won't what it wants. It'll go up against you in a minute. But when Yah is letting it know that you still ain't gonna rule nothing, because I'm gonna teach her how to get ahead of you, so it won't overpower me, okay, and bring me down. So it says here in Psalms 55 and 22, cast thy burdens upon Yah, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer thee, the righteous, to be moved. That's how I feel. That small testimony I gave you, that's what I feel. That's how I feel about it. That, you know, he gave me a way that now I know that the first itch, I can say, you ain't finna get the victory. Because he had not, I've known that, and he allowed me to understand it. Guess what? It will flare up today, and it'll be blown out probably in the next 5 days. But this way, he's showing me that it's there. It's there, Deborah. I said, but all it's doing is just a little itch. No, Deborah, it's there. You see? So I'm letting you know here in Psalms 55 and 22, it says, he shall not suffer the righteous to be moved. Let me tell you all something. Let's go back to the verse itself. Psalms 55 and 22, it says, cast thy burden upon Yah. Cast thy burden upon Yah. It's speaking of the physical body, the issues that you go through in the physical body. Cast them on Yah, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer thee, righteous, to be moved. Sister Deborah ain't moved by it, because hey, but I'm just letting you know that burden means physical body. Cast that on Yah. He got away with that. He really do. He got a way to deal with that. And he's asking us to cast thy burdens upon him, and he shall sustain. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. So that burden is a physical thing due to the body or the things outside of the body. Cast those issues on Yah, because he know how and the way he wants to deal with it. Okay? The next one was, what would one say we need to be found doing in this day? What would you say we need to be found doing? When I say that, I have to say, I would say the righteous. What would one say we need to be found doing in this day? I want you to know, when we can't claim righteousness as if we so holy than thou that we can hold on, I'm all righteous. No. I'm speaking of the brand called righteous that is within the spirit of who you are. Not your righteous mindset that says that you are all holy and righteous, but the spirit of righteous that is branded on your spirit. Okay? What should we as individuals who can discern that we have the brand of righteousness, what should we be doing in this day? In this day. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Let's go into Colossians chapter 3. In the book of Colossians, the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16 and 17. Understand, just let us talk, okay? Because what I'm doing, I'm bringing out of the chapter in the verses, that which one cannot see nor understand, okay? So in Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16 through 17, let the word of Christ dwell in richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another in psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, singing with grace in your heart to Yah. Verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yeshua, giving thanks to the Father, to Yah, and the Father by him. You see? Let's go over that again. Colossians chapter 16. Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom. You see? That word of Christ. See, it's not that word of Yeshua. It's the word of Christ. Because Yah is the word. Christ is Yah. Okay? And it says, dwell in you richly in all wisdom. Yah is all wisdom, all knowledge, and all understanding. In what? In the spirit. Okay? And it says, we're still in 16, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, singing with grace in your spiritual hearts to Yah. Okay, watch this here. Verse 17, and whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do also in the name of Yeshua, giving thanks to Yah and the Father by him. You see? Notice it separated Christ in verse 16. It didn't apply Yeshua. But when it got to 17, it wanted you to also consider when whatsoever you do in word or deeds, which is in Christ, do all in the same of the Lord Yeshua. Okay? Giving thanks to Yah and the Father by him. You see? Giving thanks to Yah and the Father by him. Right then, in both of those verses, he has separated Yeshua from Hamashiach. He separated the Father from the Son of Man. But he was saying in verse 17, whatsoever you do in the word and in deed, do all in the name of Yeshua, giving thanks to Yah and the Father by him. This is the protocol in how your deeds and your words still think you giving thanks to Yah for Yeshua, because that was the route, okay, that brought you into the realm of being forgiven for all our iniquity and our sin. He laid his life down so that we may get up once he get up by Hamashiach. So therefore, let the word, verse 16, of Christ, which is Hamashiach, dwell in you. You see that? It's the word of Hamashiach that dwells in us, because the word is the Father and the Father is the word. Christ is the word, the spirit, and the power of Yah. It dwells in us. And don't put away Yeshua, because Yeshua is partaker in the oneness. You see? Say for instance, the Ruach is in me. And if the Ruach come and live and abide in me, now I'm in the Ruach and the Ruach in me. But guess who else is there? Yeshua. Yeshua was the starter. He was the first runner, the first fruit. Okay? So let us go on. And with this, it's telling you about what I said at first. What would one say we need to be found doing in this day? Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in us richly in all wisdom. That's what we should be doing. Okay? Teaching and acknowledging one another in psalms, in hymns, in spiritual songs, singing and grace in our hearts to Yah. Verse 17, and whatsoever ye do in word and in deeds. What should we be doing? Word and in deed. Do all in the name of Yeshua, giving thanks to the Father, not to Yah, and the Father by him. Okay? So this is what we should be doing in this day. Let's go to Matthew 24. When I got to Matthew 24, and I was like, Father, I had never crossed that. I never crossed it. I'm going to show you something that I never crossed. But let's go. Matthew 24 and verse 1 and 2. Matthew 24 and verse 1. No, wait a minute. Matthew 24. No. No, I got to go back to that one. It's Matthew 24, verse 45 and 46. I'm on the wrong. I got that, but it's like the last one. Matthew's chapter 24, verse 45 and 46. And it reads, who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed, 46, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. Do you see what I'm saying? See, a lot of people think they're not supposed to be doing anything. They don't know the importance. And if you're not doing anything, you should supposed to be supporting someone who is. That's how you get in. You see, not standing around doing anything and thinking I'm going to get in because I'm just sitting here and I don't need to support. But listen to what it says. Let's go back. Matthew's 24 and 45 through 46. Listen to what it says. 45 says, who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. So when Sister Deborah say, what would one say we need to be found doing in this day? What did this just tell you? Let's read it again, verse 45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. Now, let me show you what I see in that. Did I have an issue with that? Yes. The issue is, as a person not understanding that they are flesh and they're spirit, it's the same issue right here that I see. Is it flesh and spirit? No. But it's the same issue, people not knowing truth. Okay? They don't know the spiritual realm of truth. That truth has, yeah, just don't go spinning up that like, okay, yeah. Why? Let's go back to 24 in verse 45 through 46. Who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Listen to that. You know how you see this verse and you see that it's something being said here. And it looks like the Son of Man is speaking here. But what he's saying is his, who then is faithful and wise servant? He's asking you, who then is a faithful and wise servant? He ain't talking to everybody, y'all. Listen to what he said there. Whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Right here in verse 45 is only speaking to the anointed servant of the Most High Yah that is in its household. Okay? It's a household. Let's say if it's a man, he got a wife and he got 4 children. If his wife is the faithful and wise servant, he's speaking of her as the ruler over his household. If the husband is the faithful and wise servant, he's speaking of ruler over his household. If his son is the faithful wise servant. He's speaking of him being ruler over his household. This is the reason why the Hebrew Israelite men cannot claim being king, leader, and ruler. Why? In his household. I rule my house. No, you got it wrong. Y'all send two down. And if you're not the spiritual one, you got to be able to understand which one is he saying here that is the ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. That meat is spiritual food, y'all. He's talking about spiritual food. Why is you saying that, Deborah? Because he's talking about who then is the faithful and wise servant of the Most High, y'all. He ain't talking about because you's a man in the household. Because you got a family and wives, you the ruler, you the king, you the leader. If you are not the servant of Yah, then you cannot be ruler over a household to give the meat in due season. You see how I said if I had a building, there would be so many people running to hear what I'm talking about. Because what I'm giving you all is strictly food for the spirit. Because right here, a man will think he's talking about himself. Oh, I'm the man, I'm the ruler, I'm the king. That's why I tell y'all, all that ruler, king, and I'm the leader, I'm the head of my house. Nope, you got it wrong, bro. You got it wrong. You the head and the ruler over taking care of the finances for the flesh. But when it come down to the spirit, he's speaking to the servants of the Most High Yah. He ain't speaking to you. You see, I bet because you can't give your household meat that Yah ain't gave you in the spirit. He's speaking of spirit here. And just imagine all these thousands and millions and trillions of men running around here talking about read a ruler, read a ruler. You can only rule the flesh. Rule paying them bills, rule paying getting food, rule putting a roof over the head, all the things for the outer man. But when the spiritual one is in the household, that's the servant of Yah. That's wise. That's the one that he's talking about, whom his Lord, not who you call yourself ruler over because you the man. No, he said whom his Lord have made ruler over his household to give them in the household meat in due season. Spirit and truth. Feed them spiritual. So this is why it's messed up in all the households. Because the women thought since the men dropped the ball a long time ago, they've been ruling, they've been controlling, and they've said they're the leader, they're the ruler, yeah, they did. No, you only rule that's on the outside. But when it come down to spiritual, feeding the spirit and truth and feeding and giving the light, it's the one that is the faithful, wise servant whom the Lord has made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. You got to understand that in the spirit realm, y'all. You got to understand that in the spirit realm. And that when you wonder why these homes are broken up and all this darkness is the heaviest in households than it is in the world, in the streets and in the community. It's worse in the households than it is on the outside. Yeah, people want to make you think it's a pretty picture in their house. Don't believe it. It's not. They want you to think that. No, it's not. It's a lot of things going on that shouldn't be going on, especially darkness that one has to settle with because they don't know no better. Okay, so I'm going to show you why I'm trying to explain to you he's not talking about the ruler as a man, a king, a leader over his household. That's not what he's talking about. Go to now we're on verse 46. Verse 46, blessed is that servant. He's not talking about your husband. Call himself a king, ruler, and a leader. He's a fool, he's a fool, he's a fool. because it's nothing about your husband greater than what Yah has invested in you as a servant. There's nothing about your wife that's greater than you than what Yah has invested in you as a servant. Not even you being head of your household, paying the bills and feeding is not greater than being a servant of Yah over your household. The real ruler over the household, because giving the spirit and truth that really saved your family. That which you give them food, you give them a roof over the head, and can't save them. But that which you give your family, that spiritual, or it'll save them, eternal. So this is why you know he's not talking about a man being a ruler and a king. Listen to what he says. 46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find him doing. Being in the place in which I gave you the faithful, wise wisdom in you, be there in your household, giving your household just what I gave you when I come. But a lot of people think he's just coming to get them and we all going and we going. Why is Yeshua saying that? It's vain and vexed for him to even say it. It's vain and vexed for him to even say it in this day and time, for people even to consider anything Yeshua said, like they do Paul. Because they ain't listening. If the people cannot hear in the spirit realm, they cannot hear in the natural. Because the natural is only for the flesh. But the truth rests in the spirit. So if you're running around here riding a horse for the flesh, you sick. You sick. Because that horse you're riding in the flesh is going to be your destiny that you're going to ride to the lake of fire. So any of you all, you can show this to your better half, your other half, that this is not talking about flesh. This is talking about the one he put in the house, that spirit. You know how hard it is to be a spiritual light in the house. I had to battle with that today. And the reason why my shingles is flaring up is because there has been for a week and a half a lot of chaos going on within my family. Ex-husband and the children, and just a lot of things that's going on, just and it's like I'm always the one that has to be the one that pans it out, you know. I mean, all kind of things that's horrible that didn't happen, but you would never know it. Don't y'all see me still on here talking? All right then. But I just was saying to the Father, I said, all of this was created for me to have to still go through. All of these personalities and these spirits. This is what I tell you all. You can think what you want, feel the way you want, and do whatever you want. Sister Deborah going to speak the way Yah has put it in her to speak. Because this thing, and what the shingles do is when you got stress, overloading your mind, too much going on, it starts to break out. This is what triggers it, y'all. So this servant that is saying in verse 46 kind of saddened my spirit, because he said, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. I'm still talking. Am I going through a stage? Yes. But you don't see me bagging out, shutting down. I'm pressing forward. Because he's telling you right here, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. He gonna still find me doing what I'm doing right now. And if YouTube is down, I'm gonna be out on them highways and byways talking to them like I'm speaking to you. As long as y'all give me the strength and the endurance and the long suffering, I'm gonna be running in my lane. And I'm going to be out and about speaking to people, which I should be doing. Okay. So I want you to take Matthew's chapter 24 and 25, and I want you to read that. It'll blow your mind. You might not even be able to see in it, especially our men. Women, you might not see it either. But he's speaking of the one. He ain't saying a male or a female here. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying his servant that's faithful and wise. You remember it was talking about in how the twos, he says he come to bring division in the household between father and son, son and father, mother and daughter, daughter and mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. He said he come to bring the division. Why? Because he knows that he got minds on this side and this is the dark ones on this side. He know what he doing. So all of this make a lot of sense. And when he said he come to bring the division between the family, you know what he's talking? Because I know what I got in there. I know that these are not all lights. I know that these are not all darkness. I got mine in there too. So while he is in there, he's letting you know, but I got a servant to work in the household. You let these men tell y'all that lie about they supposed to be head and leader and ruler. That's for the things of the flesh. You rule them bills. How about that? Put food on the table. Rule that. But to rule that which is the servant has to give the meat for the season for his household, you ain't got no business trying to rule that. You need to sit down under that servant that has the ability to do what y'all son it to do. Him or she, he or she to do. And if you're the man that's or the servant that's faithful and has the spiritual wisdom, then yeah, that's good. That's a double portion for you. But if you're the female, you ain't got no business letting him interfere with what he has you doing, because he said when the Lord come, you better make sure you doing what you're supposed to do. You serve it. That's what make you blessed. Is when he come, you better make sure you doing what you're supposed to do. And I say that to everybody. And if you have not found within yourself your purpose, your calling, and if you feel that you are in there with Yah, you support those who out here that are pressing out and giving the food for the spirit, doing the servants of Yah, because he already done let us know that I will allow you to receive everything that servant is doing. But you can't get the minds of the people to think like that. And it's not for you, because a lot of people are not who they say they are, even though they remain in the midst, they're not who they say they are. And it's because the flesh keep telling them, oh, you this, you this, you this, to where they don't hear their spirit saying you eating and you're not supporting those who feeding you. You see? So let's go now to Matthew chapter 6. So write that down. Matthew chapter 24, verse 45 and 46. So you can show it to whoever in your house thinking they head and they king and they leader. Let them know over that which is on the outside of a man. But I come to bring the spirit, the word of truth, rest on the inside. The meat for the season for my household. And you better be found doing it. And if you're not going to be able. You're going to get left out there, y'all. You will get left out there. Okay. Verse Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. In Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto thee. That's what the question was, what would one say we need to be found doing in this day? What is it? Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. You want to seek Yah. and his righteousness. So everything else can be added to you. That's what we should be still doing, seeking him and trying to find ourselves to do the things that are righteous in Yah. Okay, it takes you right back to Matthew 24, verse 45 and 46. Make sure you find yourself doing what he called you as a servant to do in your household. That's what's deep to me. He's letting you know you don't have to, if you call yourself don't want to go out on the highways and byways and go here, start in your household. Give them meat in due season. If you are a servant in your household, a servant means he's speaking of one that Yah has sent down here to serve him, to represent him. Start in your household, giving them the meat of the spirit, which is spirit and truth. And in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33, it says, this is another thing. What one should one say we need to be found doing in this day? What is it? But seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Seek it. Seek that righteous. Do things under righteousness, the way that you know that Yah would want you to do it. Seek after those things that is righteous. That's what we should be found doing in this day. Okay, let's go to Matthew's 21 and 22. In Matthew's chapter 21 and 22, I'm going to show y'all something that I came up on Matthew 24, and I really liked it. Matthew's chapter 1 and verse 22. In Matthew's chapter 21 Matthew's chapter 21 and verse 22. In Matthew's chapter 21 and verse 22, it says, and all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believe ye shall receive. Okay, what he's speaking of is in Matthew's chapter 21 and verse 22. It says, in all things whatsoever ye ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. See that believing is in your spirit. The reason why people have not received the things they have asked for, because they don't have the belief in the spirit. They got it in the flesh. And a lot of these sick people said, name it and claim it. Sit your tail down. Claim what? Name and claim what? Sit down. Here is telling you, in all things, whatsoever ye ask in prayer, in all things, believing. There is a belief that you are branded with in your spirit. That's where you have to grip. But can you grip it if you have no idea it's there? You can. So therefore, you can have all things, whatever you believe, because you first have to realize that there is a brand called belief in your spirit. That's the belief he's saying, believing in your inner man. When you pray, you got to believe that. You know how Sister Deborah tell you, oh, I feel that thing. I can feel that thing. That's what it's talking about, child. Feeling that thing from the inner man. Not from your outer, from your inner man. Feel that thing. Because that's where the belief, the righteous, the faith, and the fear is branded in your spirit. So I'm saying to you, you have to believe it from the inner. This is why the world in the condition that it is in, and it's going to get worse and worse. And we should look for it to be that. Because understanding the spirit who created all things under the spirit power, but we reject the spirit realm and we take on the flesh realm and we're running with it. Think everything is about this flesh. Okay, so I like that because it's actually letting you know that if you shall ask in prayer, believing. So therefore, you got to tap into that spiritual belief, because I tell y'all that all the time. Yeah, I can feel that thing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about from the flesh realm. I'm talking about from the spiritual realm, so down deep in me, I can feel that thing. And then I be wondering, well, why can't they feel it, Father? Y'all, why they don't get it? They can't feel that thing. They can't, because it's nothing in them. The four brands can't be found in them. Their mouth is overriding their living of their flesh to where they're not getting anything for the spirit. So they're just using the flesh to deceive them. Their worst is enemy. It's not the devil. It's not people around you. It's not those in your household. Your worst is enemy is yourself, because it constantly lies to you every day, every hour. How about that? Yeah, right. Okay. So I like that. Let's go to Philippians. In Philippians chapter 2 and verse 5 and 6. Let's see what it's saying here. In the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 5 and 6. Philippians chapter 2, verse 5 and 6. And it reads, let this mind be in you, which was. Look at the was. Let this mind be in you, which was also the power in Yeshua. That's what that means. Let this mind be in you, which was also in the power in Yeshua. Verse 6, who being in the form of Yah, Christ, being in the form of Yah, thought it not robbery to be equal with Yah. Christ is equal with Yah. And it's not robbery, and he ain't going to find it to be robbery, because Christ is the Father that came down with the Son of Man as Emmanuel, Yah with us. That's what Christ is. So when they up in the kingdom being judged, talking about, I did this in your name, I did this, baby, you don't even know what the name holds. So therefore, if you don't know what the name holds and what the name is, what the name was, and what the name shall always be, sit down, because it got the power, and it ain't the power to give you the name to go by. Yeshua already told us. He said, all these miracles or signs that I do is of my Father. You mean to tell me you ain't seen my Father? When you see the works that I do, that's my Father. They don't get it. They don't get it, and they're not going to. So in Philippians chapter 2 and verse 5, it says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ, in Yeshua, HaMashiach, Yeshua, who being in the form of Yah, thought it not robbery to be equal with Yah. He's talking about Christ, HaMashiach. Okay, so 99.20 trillion wouldn't know that. Truth, spirit, and truth is not what people into. They never were, and they never will be. Okay, so that's the form of Yah is Christ, and they're just telling you that there was a form, being in the form. Yeshua was the Son of Man. So who is this form of Yah? Thought it not to be robbery to be equal, because it had to be equal to Yah. It was HaMashiach. Okay, let's go to Matthew 24 and verse 1 through 6. In Matthew chapter 24, this is the one I like right here, y'all. Watch what happened. Matthew chapter 24 and if you want to go through this way, I can't even see through the, okay. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 and 2. And it reads, then shall the kingdom of heavens be like unto 10, no, Matthew's 24. Okay, I know that ain't it, because Matthew's 24, verse 1 and 2. I want y'all to take heed to this. I never seen it, but because I never had to really break it down to teach it, so I just wanted to make this not this evening about just let us talk. And here in Matthew's chapter 24, verse 1 and 2, I want you to highlight it. I want you to write it down so you can see what's going on. In Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 1 and 2, it reads, and Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. What I like about this is they thought that they were showing Yeshua something. Okay. Yeshua had already came out of the temple. He departed from the temple in verse 1. And his disciples came to him to show him the building of temples. He departed out of a temple, and then they went to showing him buildings of a temple, the building of the temple, the temples. They were building temples. And Yeshua said unto him, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. What is Yeshua telling them? That stuff don't move me. You ain't showing me nothing. Everything you showing me gonna be thrown down. So what's going on? What's going on? He went on his way, because in verse 3 it says, and as he sat upon Mount Olive, his disciples came unto him privately. So he got away from them, because see, they were marveling off the temple, the temples that was being built. He's like saying to y'all, I don't care about no temples being built. And that's where people are at today. They so caught up in what they got, what they getting, what they looking forward to having, that they fail to realize that even with Yeshua and his disciples showing him the building of the temples, he's sitting here telling them, so what? I can see them all thrown down. It's not going to be standing. And I today, prophetess in the wilderness, say unto you, I've said to y'all that over and over and over. I don't care what you got, what you're getting, what you feel you are, where you stand, how ready you're preparing yourself on this earth. Let me tell you, y'all gonna make sure he come to you first, because the whole idea of bringing the United Snakes down as in the one word system is they starting from the blue collar, the middle class on up, because they already know those that's underneath the middle class, it's over for them. They know that, because of all the things that they're putting on them. They already know that. So they are not after a certain people. So I already know in the spirit realm that many people who have bypassed and just felt that long as they tease and that they tease across their eyes a dot, and they just me, like I say, in mine. Oh, I'm ready. I'm getting myself. This is all these verses don't show you that. It does show you that we are caught up in all the wrong things. Okay. Yeshua sat there and told him, I don't care about the building of them temples, every last one. Now, just imagine what the disciples thought. Then he went up in pride and up in the Mount Olive. He didn't want to hear all that. He didn't want to see no temples being built. And he told them all of them going to be thrown down. So what? You ain't showing me nothing. I want y'all to check that out. Read Matthew's 24, verse 1, 2, and 3. He's letting you know that stuff don't mean nothing to me. And then he went up in the mountain, Mount Olive, by himself in a private location. And they came up to him. But he get away from me with all that. That's how it is today. And that's how I can stand very firm telling you. So don't get caught up of preparing so much here on this earth to where when that time comes, He's going to leave you right where you prepared, because that's where your heart is. Just like Lot's wife. She was looking back at all she had invested. So shall you. Okay. You thinking he want to take you somewhere, and you caught up and then made your whole world here, and you have satisfied yourself in this world, and you thinking he's coming to get you. Y'all know you don't want him to come get you. You didn't invest it too much in what this earthly matter, to where you ain't coming out of nothing in your spirit. You're going to want to be right where Lot's wife wanted to be, back into Sodom and Gomorrah. He ain't playing. And like he was telling those disciples, I don't care about these building of these temples. He sat there and told them, it don't mean nothing. What did he say? See ye not all these things? I mean, you see all these things y'all trying to show me? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be not left here one upon another that shall not be thrown down. All of it's going to be thrown. So don't come telling me nothing. I don't care if they brand new built temples and what that stuff don't mean nothing to me. Praise the mighty Yah. And I try to explain people in this day and time. It's not like you're going to build your world on this earth, and he's telling you, I'm destroying this country, and you study building and investing everything into your little plan. And there's people out that don't have nothing, but yet you're investing because you think that's where it needs to go. Me and mine, or I'm putting up because it's a rainy day, or when they do this, when they do. No. It ain't going to be like that. You have to have the right heart when he comes. Okay. So my next verse, we almost done. My next verse is Philippians chapter 2. Let me get to there. Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. It says, if there be therefore any consolation in Christ, Hamashiach, if any comfort of give, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels of mercy, verse 2, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same given, being of one accord and one mind. And this is something that you don't even worry about trying to teach, because people are this is the part that people are so away from. It's like the days of Noah. Every imagination and thought is wicked and evil. They couldn't come nowhere near this verse. Let's go over it again. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1 and 2. If there be therefore any consolation in Christ, meaning in Hamashiach, that's in the body of Hamashiach, y'all. That's what it's talking about. If any comfort of give, if any comfort of give, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels of mercy, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded. We have to be on the same mindset, having the same give, being one, have the same give in, being one of one accord, of one mind, being on one accord and one mind. That's where we should be in today, y'all. The question I asked, what would one say we need to be found doing in this day? There you go. Having one mind, one accord. That's it. People are right here today. I ain't finna have no one mind. I ain't finna be on no one accord. I'm over here. You. And that's how the mindset. Someone came to me and spoke to me about having a few of us coming together in unifying and finding a some sort of solid, I'm saying this part, right? A solid foundation to start. And with me, that's that's just who I am. That's just who I am. I'm the type of person that knows how to do stuff like that. But what I'm seeing from where I'm at in the spirit is people's heart and mind is not there. And that's why they're going to go and travel like I and others, but they're going to go through it in a sad situation when you don't have to. Right here, he's saying that having the same giving, the same being on one accord, the same one mind. If Yah is telling us that that's what we should be doing, and we telling them, no, I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna come together. I ain't gonna do nothing where we all can come. No, that's the mindset that I can see from the wilderness. So with that being said, I was telling the individual, and if Yah would speak to me and open that door up like that, because that's my desire. But if he opened that door up so that that can be done, and all you have to do is start with a handful of individuals coming together, making a video, and then making sure that we put it out to those who have been following, and we branch out from there. You're not what branch out. I mean, take it from there and let it spread out. And then the next time we come together, maybe we have 2 or 3 others say, well, you know what? I'm just doing nothing from where I'm at. I would love to go somewhere else and be out on the beach, and we gathering together in the unity of the Father, and I want to do it this year. You see? And then another one or 4 or 5 might say it, but you have to, and I get what she's saying, because you got to start somewhere, because what we're doing is we just living as if Yah want us to have just one mind, and that's our own. You see, when he built a body of Hamashiach with Christ being the head, you get what I'm saying? It's just the ideal of stepping out on what you call faith and hoping that Yah is totally 100% willing to be in the midst. And after you took this handful, which I say 5, once we have done it as 5, we'll make a couple of videos, and then we'll put them onto YouTube, and everybody that comes on the page that we normally come on, then therefore the next year, or we're going to make it more in the next year, which I don't think we're going to be here that many years, but I'm trying, even if we say every 6 months, but it gives you something to do. Let me tell you what's wrong, what's good about that, and what's wrong with how the world do it. My daughter got up with a group, and I think her group was 60. And my older sister, she's in a group, and I think hers is way over 60. These people, professional people, come together every year. And throughout the year, they go to all different events. And I'm like saying, how could the world come together for the worldly matter? And here it is, y'all don't want us uniting. Y'all say it ain't him. It's that you don't know who you dealing with. You don't know who is in the midst of you until you use that discerning spirit to realize, to see who's who. And even in the midst of it, you could still try to do something and make sure it's all about him. It got to be about the Father. It can't be about us just coming together. And the more we put him ahead, the more he'll lead and guide us. You'd be surprised if he tell us, well, you know, you all, this is the last year, or the light will be in the sky, or that's how he does it. But when the body is all over out and it's all about itself, and it's each part of the body is really hung up on itself, when this is what you see. You see, now this is why the church and them can come together. They go to Jamaica, they go to a cruise, they go here and there, but you find the light in those that's gripping spirit and truth. Nobody wants to come together. So when this young lady was telling me, she's also a prophetess, she was just telling me we need to just do something as us, you know, and I knew who she was talking about, and I was telling her I would love to have a couple males involved in it, because me myself, even coming up in this spirit truth walk, I always said I don't want no women ruling nothing. And I'm gonna rule that spirit realm. They gonna rule that spirit realm, but yet and all, let the men take the lead. You see, so that's what I was telling her. We would have to have at least a couple of men in there with us. So even though it won't just to be the three of us, but we have men also. So me myself, I'm still thinking about doing that. I'm still waiting, and her and I are waiting to hear from the Most High Yah regarding that. But my Philippians chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, if there be therefore any consolation in Yeshua, Hamashiach, not Yeshua, letting you know it's not about flesh and man, it's about Hamashiach, in Hamashiach, if any comfort of giving, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels of mercy. Watch this here, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same giving spirit, being of one accord and one mind. See, y'all know what he's talking about when he's talking about this oneness. But what we want to do, oh no, we don't want to have nothing to do with it, because we think we run on our time. Okay, so I'm going to go to Ephesians chapter 2. We're almost done here. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. In Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10, it reads, for we are workmanship created in Christ. It ain't saying Yeshua, is it? You see? So when you see it saying, they're going to come up there and say, I did it in the name. Wait a minute, what is the name? They think it's the name that they thinking they didn't made up, or they didn't say it is the name. See, that's how, and that's beautiful to me, because it's actually showing you how they didn't just take on that name down here. They bring it to the spirit realm in the spiritual kingdom for judgment. They didn't play it so wholehearted to where they think they got that name packed down, and he's wondering, wait, hold up, where's the power? You can't have the name without the power, because the power is the one to identify the name. You ain't got the name, because people thinking the name is separate from the power, and it's not. Hamashiach is the power, the word, and the spirit. Okay, so listen to verse 10. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. For we are workmanship created in Hamashiach, the power, as well as Yeshua, unto a good work, which Yah had before ordained that we should walk in. What's your problem? Works. Why are we walking in them? Because we so busy talking in them and don't have what it takes to even be talking in them. That's what you see all on YouTube. They just assume that, hey, I done deceived these people for 20 years. I'm going to keep it up because I'm just getting a paycheck for 20 years. But just imagine when they shut down. Do you all know that a lot of the people who do have pages, they have their stuff stocked up? They got stocked up because of what you have invested in them the 20 years. You see? So much for that. So let's go. I like that verse 10 in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10, where it says, for we are workmanship created in the power, which is Hamashiach, Yeshua, unto good works, which Yah has foreordained that we should walk in it. What should we walk in, y'all? The ideal of being workmanship created in the power. Now see, are y'all walking in it? Your workmanship. And then he said, because before Yah ordained it that we should walk therein. When did he ordain it? Before the foundation of the world. What are you walking in? What are you walking in? And again, if you're not the workmanship and you're not working, you don't have the works and you're not working as a servant, you're supposed to support the servant. Okay. Now, James chapter 10, and then we got one after that, that's Romans. So we're just going to go here to James chapter 10, chapter 3. In the book of James, chapter 3, let me get that here. In the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 10. Let's go there. James chapter 3 and verse 10. And it reads, out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so be. So here James is telling you, out of the same mouth, we should not bring a blessing and a cursing. The cursing, when I looked it up in Hebrew, it was talking about profanity, the cursing of profanity. But I tried to explain to you all, these people at the same time are practicing so many dark mess, but yet on here portraying to be the servants of Yah. Here it is, it's telling you that out of the same mouth proceed blessings and cursing. Brothering, meaning sisters on this as well. These things ought not to be, and it ought not to be. We shouldn't have the boast coming out of our mouths. We should not. Someone says, what would one say we need to be found doing in this day? And that is, out of our mouth, we should proceed blessings and not the cursings. Okay. My brethren, these things ought not be. And that cursing is profanity, saying things that fall under the profanity, but yet saying things that's supposed to be blessing. You know why that can't work? And that is because that person is not a holy person. That person is not a righteous person that proceed with the both. You're going to bless and curse. That means you neither nor. I mean, not neither nor. You're not. This is not a person that's would fall under what you call righteous in the eyes of Yah. Why? Because we're not supposed to say the same things out of the same mouth, out of the one mouth, blessings and cursing, even though these are words that's coming out of the same mouth. So this is this is James saying that you can't use profanity and blessings. You blessing someone with the word, and you're cursing using profanity out of the same mouth. Okay, so this is James saying that. And then in verse 11 it says, "Do a fountain send forth the same place sweet water and bitter?" Okay, so he's letting you know what we should be doing. What should we be doing? Sending out blessings, saying things that's going to bless people in this day and time. Why? Because there's so much darkness. Bringing out the light is a blessing in itself. So that people, it's so many people that's waiting to hear somebody say something that already rests in them, because they've been feeling that, hey, they lost and everybody else is the right ones and they're lost and they're not. That's just how the enemy would have you feeling, and got you lost out here because you haven't heard someone talk like you talk, or speak what was in you and what you already know that rests in you. Okay, the last verse is Romans chapter 8. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 24. Romans chapter 8 and verse 24. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 24, it reads, "For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. But what a man seeth, why do he hope for? So remember, I was telling y'all, you have to be able to divide that which is natural from what that is, which is spirit. Notice it says, for we are saved by hope. But hope is not something seen. Not this hope. It ain't a hope that is seen. So what if it ain't seen? What is it? Spiritual. Okay? It is not hope. And it's trying to tell you that there's two hopes. It's the hope that you hope in the flesh, and there's the hope that you hope in the spirit. You're not saved because you say you saved. You see? You're not saved because you say you saved. You saved by hope, which is unseen, which is still letting you know by the spirit. And that's why I say it's a sad thing how people have been taught these thousands of years and really believe all these books that they got, that it is what they said that it is. And it's the way that it says in the book. It's in the book. The book is for the flesh. What are you getting for the spirit that overrides what the book in the flesh is saying? What are you getting? And like he said, he comes to teach you all things. What would be the purpose of him coming to teach you all things if you got the book in front of you that you feel the book is teaching you all things? You got a pastor in front of you, he's teaching you all things. You got all these people on YouTube teaching you all things. What do you need the Father for? You don't, and he don't need you. How about that? How about that? Grip that. That's what you call reality. So here in Romans chapter 8 and verse 24, he says, for we are saved by hope. Saved is not what you are. It is something Yah has ushered you in and giving you, not by you. So it too is spiritual. And hope is not seen. So there go another route in spirit. You see how all of these things are the things that people will ignore because they sit trying to figure out they can't understand the spirit realm. That these things come by the spirit and not by the flesh. They so used to going to and fro and living throughout their living based on what they see and believe. They think everything is based on what is in front of them. And just imagine hell and eternal life is not in front of you. As it is. For real is. So therefore, what the people doing? They just going by what is in front of them. Since it ain't no hell, when I got nothing to worry about, I can do whatever I want to do. I can say what I want to and do it. And I don't care about nothing else. Because why? They don't see hell in front of them. They don't see heavens in front of them. Because it's about what they see and feel in the flesh. Not understanding that there was a spirit. Just imagine if everybody opened their church up and taught the spirit. Taught you about your spirit, your inner man. People be running trying to get to Yah, but they're not going to do it. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it, because even me giving it to you, I got something out of it. I don't know what happened to my live chat, and I don't worry about it. I ain't gonna say I don't care, but it's all good. I don't know. And I understand. A lot of you all don't understand that I said some things on live yesterday, and I will be surprised if YouTube cut my live chat, because I set it up for live. I don't know what happened to it, but it didn't stop me. And I just thank the Father for giving me the strength and the endurance to even continue to put out what he put in me, and that is spirit and truth. And I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. Shalom and shalom.